My dear students, welcome back to our channel. In this video, I will be explaining the B.Ed second semester subject content and pedagogy of social science education at secondary stage, as prescribed by Osmania University and other universities of Telangana. We will go through the important questions and answers one by one. Let's begin with a quick revision. Unit 1 first important short question is: define curriculum and syllabus in social science. Curriculum and syllabus in social science. Curriculum in social science refers to the overall plan of learning prepared for students. It includes not only the subjects and topics to be studied, but also the teaching methods, activities, values, and skills that students should gain. It is like a roadmap that guides the teacher and students throughout the year. Example: in social science, the curriculum may say students should understand democracy, learn teamwork through group projects, and develop critical thinking about social issues. Syllabus, on the other hand, is a specific list of topics and chapters to be studied in a subject during a particular class or exam. It is a part of the curriculum and is usually given by education boards. Example: Class 9 Social Science syllabus may include chapters like French Revolution, Climate of India, Electoral Politics, etc. In short, curriculum is equal to full plan of learning. Syllabus is equal to list of topics to study. Next important short question is: 2. What are the major recommendations of NEP 2020 regarding social science curriculum? Major recommendations of NEP 2020 for social science curriculum. The National Education Policy, NEP 2020, has suggested many changes to make the social science curriculum more useful, interesting, and skill-based for students. 1. Focus on critical thinking instead of rote learning. Students should understand issues like democracy, rights, environment, and culture and learn to think logically. Example: instead of memorizing dates, students may discuss how freedom struggles shaped our society. 2. Integration of subjects. Social science will be taught in a more interdisciplinary way, connecting history, geography, economics, and civics to real life. Example: while studying climate change, links to geography, weather, economics, cost, and civics, laws, will be shown. 3. Indian knowledge and values. Curriculum will include local history, culture, and contributions of India to build pride and awareness. 4. Skill development. Emphasis on research, communication, and project-based learning like surveys, debates, and field visits. In short, NEP 2020 wants social science teaching to be practical, skill-based, and connected to real life, not just bookish learning. Next important short question is: 3. Explain Dale's cone of experience in brief. Dale's cone of experience. Dale's cone of experience, given by Edgar Dale, 1946, explains how people learn better when they actively experience something rather than just reading or listening. It is shown in the form of a cone, triangle, starting from abstract learning at the top to real-life experiences at the bottom. At the top, we have verbal symbols like reading textbooks or listening to lectures. These give the least retention because students are only receiving information. In the middle, we have visuals, pictures, maps, charts, and videos which make learning more meaningful. At the bottom, we find direct experiences like role-play, field visits, experiments, and real-life practice. These give the highest retention because students learn by doing. Example: instead of only reading about democracy, students can conduct a mock election in class, which helps them understand better. In short, Dale's cone shows that the more active and practical the learning, the better the understanding and memory. Next important short question is 4. Differentiate between subject-centered and behaviorist curriculum. Difference between subject-centered and behaviorist curriculum. Aspect: subject-centered curriculum, behaviorist curriculum. Focus: emphasizes the subject matter, history, geography, civics. Emphasizes learners' behavior and skills to be acquired. Objective: students learn facts and concepts of the subject. Students learn through rewards and reinforcement, shaping their behavior. Teaching method: teacher-centered, lectures, textbooks, and exams dominate. Learner-centered, tasks, exercises, and feedback are key. Evaluation based on knowledge of content. Based on observable behavior or skill performance. Example: learning about the Indian Constitution by reading chapters. Students role play as parliament members to practice democratic decision-making. Key point: subject-centered curriculum focuses on what to teach, while behaviorist curriculum focuses on what the student should be able to do after learning. Remember, subject-centered is equal to knowledge first, behaviorist is equal to skills behavior first. Next important short question is 5. Mention to print resources useful for social science teaching. To print resources useful for social science teaching. 1. Textbooks. Textbooks are the primary print resource in social science teaching. They provide structured content like history, geography, civics, and economics. Textbooks help students understand concepts step by step. Example: a history textbook explaining the Indian freedom struggle with timelines, pictures, and key events helps students grasp the topic easily. 2. Maps and atlases. Maps and atlases are essential for teaching geography and social studies. They help students visualize locations, regions, and resources, making learning interactive and practical. Example: showing a political map of India while teaching states and capitals, or an economic map for understanding mineral-rich areas. Key point: print resources provide permanent and structured knowledge, making lessons clear and easy to revise. Teachers can combine textbooks with maps and atlases for better understanding and retention. Remember, textbooks is equal to knowledge, maps atlases is equal to visual learning. Next, Unit 6. Long questions. First important long question is: discuss the history of curriculum development in social science in India. History of curriculum development in social science in India. The curriculum in social science in India has evolved over time to meet the changing needs of society and education. 1. Pre-independence era. During British rule, social science education was mainly history and geography focused on administrative needs. The curriculum emphasized memorization of facts, dates, and events rather than understanding society. Students learned about Indian history, world history, and British administration. 2. Post-independence era, 1947-1960s. After independence, India needed educated citizens for democracy and nation building. Social science curriculum included history, geography, civics, and economics. The focus shifted from memorization to understanding social and political systems. For example, students learned about the Indian Constitution, democracy, and local governance. 3. 1970s, 1990s. The curriculum began incorporating social issues such as poverty, environment, and population. Emphasis was given to critical thinking and problem solving. Projects and activities were introduced, example, students studying local community problems. 4. 2000s onwards. With NEP 2020 and modern frameworks, the curriculum became learner-centered and competency-based. It focuses on experiential learning, inquiry, and skill development. Students now explore topics like climate change, sustainable development, and cultural heritage through projects, discussions, and field visits. Key points to remember. Early curriculum is equal to rote learning and memorization. Post-independence is equal to understanding society, governance, and citizenship. Modern curriculum is equal to learner-centered, experiential, and skill-oriented. Tools like maps, timelines, case studies, and projects make learning interactive. Example. Earlier, students just memorized dates of Indian freedom struggle. Today, they analyze causes, effects, and lessons from freedom movements through projects, role plays, and discussions. Conclusion. The history of social science curriculum shows a shift from teacher-centered to student-centered learning, focusing on knowledge, skills, and values to prepare responsible citizens for a modern democratic society. Next important long question is: to explain the shift from subject-centered to constructivist approaches in curriculum development. Shift from subject-centered to constructivist approaches in curriculum development. The curriculum in social science has changed over time to make learning more meaningful, student-centered, and skill-oriented. 1. Subject-centered approach. In the traditional curriculum, the focus was mainly on subjects like history, geography, civics, and economics. Teachers followed a fixed syllabus, and students were expected to memorize facts, dates, and definitions. Learning was teacher-centered, meaning the teacher delivered knowledge, and students passively received it. Example: students memorized the names of kings and battles in history without understanding their significance. 2. Behaviorist approach, intermediate stage. Later, curriculum designers adopted behaviorist ideas. The focus was on observable learning outcomes. Students were expected to demonstrate skills or knowledge, and punishments were used to shape learning. This approach introduced exercises, drills, and objective assessments. Example: students were asked to recall facts about democracy and answer multiple-choice questions to show learning. 3. Constructivist approach, modern approach. Today, the curriculum is based on constructivism, which believes students actively construct knowledge from experiences. Learning is student-centered, interactive, and inquiry-based. Students explore, question, and analyze rather than just memorize. Teachers act as facilitators, guiding students to discover concepts themselves. Example: while studying the freedom movement, students may conduct interviews with elders, visit local monuments, or create timelines, understanding the social, political, and economic causes of freedom struggle. Key features of constructivist approach. Encourages critical thinking and problem solving. Links learning to real-life situations. Promotes collaborative learning through group projects and discussions. Focuses on skills, values, and competencies, not just content. Conclusion. The shift from subject-centered to constructivist curriculum shows a move from memorizing content to developing understanding, skills, and active participation. Today, social science education aims to create responsible, analytical, and informed citizens, ready to engage with society meaningfully. Next important long question is: 3. Critically analyze the recommendations of NCFSE 2023 for social science education. Critical analysis of NCFSE 2023 recommendations for social science education. The National Curriculum Framework for School Education, NCFSE 2023 provides updated guidelines for social science education at the secondary stage. It emphasizes student-centered learning, skill development, and real-life connections. 1. Integration of knowledge and skills. NCFSE 2023 recommends linking social science content with practical skills like critical thinking, problem-solving, and decision-making. Students should analyze historical events, understand geographical patterns, and assess civic responsibilities rather than just memorize facts. Example, while studying the Constitution, students can debate real-life civic issues, connecting theory to practice. 2. Contextual and experiential learning. Curriculum should be contextualized to students' local, social, and cultural environment. Experiential learning methods such as field visits, surveys, and projects are encouraged to make learning meaningful and relevant. Example, students may visit a local government office to study public administration or prepare a project on local environmental challenges. 3. Interdisciplinary approach. Social science should not be taught in isolation. NCFSE 2023 emphasizes linking history, geography, economics, and civics for a holistic understanding. Example, while learning about industrialization, students can examine historical causes, economic impact, and geographical spread simultaneously. 4. Emphasis on values and citizenship. Curriculum promotes ethical understanding, social responsibility, and active citizenship. Students are encouraged to participate in community activities and develop empathy and awareness of social issues. Example, projects on water conservation or social justice can help students apply classroom knowledge to societal problems. Critical analysis. Strengths. The framework promotes active, student-centered, and skill-based learning, making education relevant and engaging. Challenges. Effective implementation requires trained teachers, resources, and time, which may be limited in many schools. Recommendation. Continuous teacher development programs and innovative teaching aids are necessary to fully realize the framework's goals. Conclusion. NCFSE 2023 shifts social science education from rote memorization to meaningful understanding and skill development, preparing students to become analytical thinkers, responsible citizens, and active participants in society. Next important long question is: 4. How can a teacher act as a curriculum developer? Illustrate with examples. Role of a teacher as a curriculum developer in social science. A teacher is not just a deliverer of knowledge, but also an active curriculum developer. This means they adapt, design, and enrich the prescribed syllabus to make learning meaningful for students. 1. Adapting curriculum to student needs. Teachers can modify content based on students' interests, background, and understanding level. Example, while teaching the French Revolution, a teacher may include stories of local movements for freedom to help students relate global events to their local context. 2. Planning learning experiences. Teachers design unit plans, lesson plans, and activities that align with learning outcomes. They select teaching learning materials, resources, and methods that suit the content and students' learning style. Example, a history teacher can organize a role-play of parliamentary debates to explain democracy instead of only using textbooks. 3. Integrating interdisciplinary knowledge. Teachers combine knowledge from history, geography, economics, and civics to create a holistic curriculum. Example, while teaching industrialization, students can explore its historical background, economic impact, and geographical spread simultaneously. 4. Incorporating contemporary issues. Teachers can include current social, political, and environmental issues to make the curriculum relevant and engaging. Example, discussing climate change while teaching geography encourages students to connect textbook learning with real-world challenges. 5. Evaluating and improving curriculum. Teachers observe how students respond and modify activities or materials for better understanding. Example, if students struggle with maps, the teacher can create interactive digital maps or group activities to improve learning outcomes. Conclusion. By adapting content, designing activities, integrating subjects, including real-life issues, and continuously improving, teachers act as active curriculum developers. This approach ensures that social science education is student-centered, engaging, and meaningful, preparing learners to think critically, solve problems, and connect knowledge with life. Next important long question is 5. Explain the importance of moving beyond the textbook in teaching social science with suitable examples. Importance of moving beyond the textbook in teaching social science. Teaching social science cannot be limited to textbooks alone. Textbooks provide basic information, but real learning happens when students connect knowledge with real-life experiences. Moving beyond textbooks makes learning engaging, meaningful, and practical. 1. Encourages critical thinking. Textbooks often present facts, dates, and definitions. When teachers include discussions, debates, and case studies, students analyze, question, and think critically. Example, while studying the French Revolution, instead of only reading events, students can debate whether revolutions are always necessary for social change. 2. Makes learning contextual. Social science is closely linked to society, history, geography, and politics. Using newspapers, documentaries, maps, and online resources helps students understand issues in real contexts. Example, teaching industrialization alongside a visit to a local factory shows students the practical impact on workers and communities. 3. Encourages active participation. Beyond textbooks, teachers can use field trips, projects, surveys, and interviews to make students active learners rather than passive readers. Example, students can interview elders in their village about historical events or social changes, connecting personal experiences with textbook content. 4. Fosters interdisciplinary learning. Social science overlaps with economics, civics, and environmental studies. Using multiple resources helps students see connections between subjects. Example, while studying natural resources, students can explore economic uses, political regulations, and environmental impact. 5. Prepares for real-life application. Moving beyond textbooks teaches students problem-solving, decision-making, and analytical skills essential for life. Example, studying democracy through role plays of elections or parliamentary debates helps students experience governance practically. Conclusion. Moving beyond the textbook ensures social science teaching is dynamic, interactive, and relevant. It helps students understand, analyze, and apply knowledge, preparing them to become responsible, informed, and active citizens. Teachers, therefore, should blend textbooks with real-life experiences, technology, and participatory methods for effective learning.